Awesome. Hello. I almost said good morning. It's like good afternoon, which is so crazy. I've already had an event today, so it's been a busy morning. Okay, so for everyone that is on the call right now, I just want to say good morning, and I'm really excited to have you guys here to listen to one of our partners. Her name is Heather Keller, and I mean, Heather, I feel like I knew about like generally about you, but I started reading your bio and I was like, this is all so fun. So she is like the queen of short sells. Her business is actually called Blueprint Short Sells and Blueprint Listings. I don't know if they're two separate businesses or if it's one business.
Same.
Um, but she's been doing it forever. She's a speaker. She's written 2 books, which was very impressive. And when we talked a lot about like how she wanted to show up for the moms in real estate community, this topic that we're going to be talking about today is what she's really passionate about. So I'm going to give the floor over to you, Heather, for the hour, and I will monitor the chat. And if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in there. I always like suggest too, like if you guys are wanting to go ahead and go in the chat and put your name and what city you work in, I always feel like that's a good way for people to connect. If you guys want to put your Instagram handle links, that's another good way to connect. But yeah, go ahead, Heather.
All right. Am I able to share my screen?
Oh, you know what? Yes. Give me 1 second. Angelica, I know you're on the call. Can you give Heather access to co-host?
Of course.
Thank you.
It's a conversation. Go to the next slide for me, Jason. Give you a few more. Again, interest rates drop down. Should I contact you if rates drop any lower? I mean, you can use this every
Wait,
time
where's that
rates
coming
drop.
from?
You can use this type of Instagram story.
So you can, everyone needs to mute themselves. Okay,
There
yeah.
we go. I thought it was your screen for a minute. I was like, is that for her presentation? Okay, I'll keep muting people.
It's not me. So there's actually, for anyone that does a lot of these Zooms, there's a thing in your settings that you can mute people upon entrance. So I don't know if that's helpful. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Keller, and I'm so excited about today's class because, yes, I'm a partner with Moms in Real Estate, but I wanted to do something different for all of you. I didn't want to do this presentation and be like, hey, join my short sale coaching community. I wanted to really dive a little bit deeper on, kind of where I started and where I've gone and all of the anxiety and the craziness of being a mom and running your own business. And so today is like a rebalance. So I'm just gonna, hopefully you take some notes. There's a lot of information. I hope we can get through all of it. This is kind of what I did over the years to kind of break things down and have a better work-life balance. So I'm admitting people. Is someone else able to do that? Or I wasn't sure. I don't mind.
Heather, I'm doing it. Yeah, you don't need to worry about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. I like to make things conversational. So please ask questions. I'll either pause or we can get to them at the end. But yeah, very excited to be here. Okay. So today's name of the class is Real Estate Rebalance, a mom's guide to real estate success. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit, about me and what we're going to be discussing, and we'll just take it from there. Yay. Yeah, definitely. If you don't have a pencil pen, or maybe you want to take notes on your Google Drive, definitely take notes. I'd be happy to share the slides and I'll give you all my contact information at the end. So what are we going to talk about today? So a lot of people, and I don't comment a ton in the group, but I tell you what, I stalk this group every single day. And I see so many moms out there that are so all over the place with their schedules, or they may not have a niche. And so I wanted to have this exact class to really help you map out your ideal schedule. What is going to be best for you? Because I tell you what, when it's good for you and mama's happy, it trickles down to the entire family. When mama's not happy, it's a mess, right? Anyone else know that? I do. And And then number 2, how to identify your ideal niche. So you all know my niche is distress sales. I think every single mom should be in this niche, but I know it's not for everyone. And so how do you really identify your niche and what's going to work for you? It's really, really great to just pick a niche and run with it, because it will lead, if you do it the right way, it will lead to other business down the road. And you don't have to be over here. One day I'm doing this, the next day I'm this. No. And then how do you implement that plan? And then at the end, I do have a couple of things that I think would be really great for you. And so we'll talk about that. All righty. Who am I? I don't like to spend a lot of time on myself, but if I have not met you, this is me. And so I've been handling listing and negotiating short sales since 2007. I started with it. I ran with it. I don't ever market to anything else. I've helped hundreds of families avoid foreclosure. I am well known for handling the most complicated short sale transactions. I don't have time, but this may be another class. Hey, Heather comes on and talks about her crazy short sale deals. I had a seller on the run for murder. He is still on the America's top 15 most wanted list. Crazy story. I'm married. I have 2 boys. My oldest will be 14 in February, and my youngest just turned 10 over the summer. So I know someone said they were from Grand Rapids. I grew up in Stevensville, St. Joe, Michigan. So I'm sure you know where that's at, but I do reside in the western suburbs of Chicago now. And my hobbies. So if you don't have a non-negotiable for yourself, as far as like self-care, put it on your plan now. For me, I work out 5 days a week, strength training. And I love nutrition and cooking and taking really complicated recipes and making them simple. I like to read. My family and I travel to Maui every year. And of course, quality time with my family. But again, if you want to know more about me, feel free to reach out. I really want to help you rebalance and thrive in your business. Okay. I don't know about you all, but it is like 80 here today, which is so unseasonably warm, and I'm like dying. So bear with me. All right, number 1. So if you're taking notes, we're going to walk through all these. There's a lot of questions that I want to write. You're not going to get everything in today, okay? But I do want you to write a lot of this out. Again, I'd be happy to give the slides. It's going to help you kind of map everything out for yourself. So number 1, map out your ideal schedule. What does that look like? When you think about your schedule, what do you want? What is going to work best for your family? I know there's a lot of chats here, so you can just keep track of the questions. I will wait till the end. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 kind of steps to help you for this particular one. Okay. So the first one is audit your time. So write all this down, and I'm going to actually give you a sample of my schedule at the end of this part. So I encourage you, and maybe start. So what's today? Wednesday? Thursday? Lose track of my days. Wednesday. Okay. So I would start this like on Monday. So track your current time. Okay. So what do you do every day? Write it down and keep track of it. And so that's really important. And then you want to identify your peak energy hours. So for me, I love mornings. So it's usually about this time of day that I'm like, yeah, no, I need an extra coffee, or I need to just completely stop for the day. But I haven't done much today, so I'm really excited to be here because I got lots of energy. But what are your peak energy hours? Okay. And that's going to help you as you come up with this, because during those peak hours is when you want to get the most of your time, or most of everything done, like time management. Okay. So get it all done then. And I'm going to explain my schedule too. So then you also want to note like family commitments, non-negotiables. So I talked about mine. My non-negotiable is my workouts. The first thing I do, I drop my kids off at school. I'm home at 8. So between 8 and like 9:30, I work out, I eat, shower, all that fun stuff. Okay. That is my non-negotiable 100%. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And then what are your family commitments? So important to understand all that, because that is where you're going to come up with a schedule that's ideal for you. And then that will in turn figure out what would be a good niche for you. document your current real estate activities and time spent. So I think a lot of people are not good with their time. You know, you get sucked into social media, or I don't know, whatever. Like I work from home, and so I get sucked into, oh, that was a bird that just flew past, or whatever it may be, you know. So you want to document and audit your time. So important. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Analyze your schedule. So determine which activities generate the most revenue. And so at the end of this, I have a series training that is so valuable no matter what niche you have. Okay. I'm so organized. And so this is kind of where the end of my yearly planning comes in. I'm able to figure out from my monthly analysis what activities generate the most revenue. And so you really want to determine that. Is it, are you cold calling? Are, you going out and meeting attorneys, whatever it may be. Okay. And then we got identify those wasting time activities. For me, time is money. If it is not going to help me personally or in my business, it is a no. It is okay to say no. Learn to say no. It is like the best. It was like, I know, no. Okay. So figure out, are you wasting time? And so I think once you come up with a schedule, and like I said, I'm going to show mine. I am so dead set and so focused on getting my stuff done during my kids' school schedule. That's how I work. That's it. And you'll learn to delegate and automate things out. I could probably do another class on that, but identify time wasting activities. So if we go back to 1, you're going to track for a whole week, track your time, what you have done. You'll be surprised. So there's actually something on your phone that will tell you how long you've been on Facebook, how long you've been on YouTube and all that. It's really crazy to see. Anyway, then you want to map out your kids' schedule. So what does that look like? Do you volunteer? Do you, have to pick them up at a certain time, or whatever it may be? Okay. And I'm going to go through my schedule for you. And then do you have support from a spouse or maybe a friend or whoever? That's important to note, because if you have to for sure pick up your kids at Wednesday at 3, but you have the other days, well, that's important to note, because again, we're going to tailor your schedule around all of this. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to go to this. It's easier for me to look at. Okay. Number 3, your ideal schedule creation. So does that just mean weekends? Does that just mean weekdays? For me, I like to work 9 to 3, period. And I don't work outside of that. I may take a Saturday morning appointment. And that's important to know, because if you do want to be in the niche of, say, first-time home buyers, then you're probably going to have to work on the weekends. So make sure as you're creating all this, you block out your family time. So what does that look like? For me, a lot of our family time is in the evening. So we have a thing called Friday night family night. We've just deemed that for many, many years. And, it may just be sitting on the couch watching a movie. Sometimes we go out for walks, but that is my time to spend, with family. How many specific hours a week can you dedicate towards working? Again, we don't want to dilly-dally. We want to set a schedule, and then inside of that schedule, have your best time management skills to get everything done. Okay. Build in a buffer time for emergencies. Now, that was really hard for me when I started all this, because things come up, right? So let me give you an example. Yesterday, my oldest was sick, so he was home. Yeah, he can pretty much do things on his own, even when he's sick or whatever, but I still had to take the time to go check on him. And then I had to take him to the doctor. And so that cut into my work time. But I've learned that, everything happens for a reason. I will get to that other stuff. And so I just have that time, and I know that emergencies are going to come up. Okay. Other big one, seasonal changes, summers, holiday breaks. I actually love when my kids are home for the summer. We do have a summer schedule. And so for us, my kids sleep in and I have that luxury. Hopefully you do, or if you don't, maybe your kids will get older and they will. So they'll sleep till like 10 or 11. And so I'm still getting up at 6 every single day. Not because I have to, but I like to. I like to have my coffee and do all of that. But it's important to note that summer hours are going to change. Holiday hours are going to change, and you just have to adjust. If you're not going back and re-evaluating your schedule, your work hours, or whatever on a regular basis, then it's not going to work. Like, you have to adjust, right, to your family. So that's all number one. Let me give you an example of my schedule. Okay. So I get up at 6 every single day, even on the weekends. So during the week, so I'm talking specifically right now, Monday through Friday. Okay. And I'll touch a little bit on my weekends, but 6 to 6:40, I get up, I get my coffee. I like to check my Facebook memories. I just do. It's just what I do. So I literally get my coffee, I sit on the couch, I check my Facebook memories, and I play Wordle. Okay. That kind of like helps me with the day. I don't get up, I don't start checking emails. I check Facebook memories and play Wordle. Anyone else play Wordle? It's like the best game ever. If you don't, do it and then we can chat about it every single day. So then 6:40, that's when I go and I get my kids up. So literally from 6:40 until the time we leave at 7:30, I have no phone. Okay. This is the time to really focus, for me, focus on the kids. And so we have a lot of positivity talk. And the reason why I don't have a phone is because it's so much distraction. And, what if you got an email first thing in the morning that's just going to bring yourself down? Guess what? It's going to bring the rest of the family down. So no phone. Okay. So we do breakfast, positivity talk. We get ready for school. And then we leave at 7:30. Thankfully, our school is very close. And so by the time I drive all the way up to the parking garage, let them out, I don't even get out of the car, I come home. It just kind of depends on traffic. So I'm definitely home by 8 a.m. every day. Okay. So 8 to 9:30, my routine is my workout, shower, and then I have breakfast pretty much right at 9:30. And so on Thursdays, to give you an example, that is when I go and get groceries instead of coming straight home. So a lot of people are like, why don't you delegate out that job? Well, I could, and I did for a long time, but I'm pretty anal when it comes like picking out meats and fruits. So I just do it myself. No one's at the grocery store at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So I do that. Now, Sundays I reserve for church. So it's church. And then this time of the year, it's football. So I do not do open houses. I don't do any work at all on Sundays. It is church, family, food, and football. So 3 F's and 1 C. Okay. So back to Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 3 is like my working hours. Okay. Now I do take some breaks here and there. If like I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'll get up and I'll go take a walk outside, just to kind of regather myself. Okay. So this would include Zoom calls, listing appointments, follow-up calls. The reason why I love the niche of distress sales is because these families are so desperate for help, they will work inside of your schedule. And so I'm very upfront with them. Hey, I got to meet before this time. If they are working, say like a 9 to 5 job, I will take a Saturday morning appointment. Okay. And then 3:15 is when I go and either pick up for school or I actually volunteer at theater. So my kids are very much into theater. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's just crazy. So I probably volunteer at least 5 hours a week doing that. And then we get home and it's family dinner, anything related to school, and getting ready for bed. So for example, tonight, theater's till 5:30. We're going to come home. We're going to have dinner. We're going to do a little bit of decorating for Halloween, because we're having friends over tomorrow, and then we're going to watch Survivor. So, and that's it. Then it's bed. Happy to answer any questions about my schedule, or maybe you have a question about yours at the end. Okay. All right, how to identify your ideal niche. Now, this is super exciting for me. I've never really did anything else but distress sales. However, it has led to other business down the road, buyers, traditional sales. And so that's a great thing. If you take your niche and you run with it and become that expert, people are going to know. And then they're just going to give you other business because they just love working with you. Okay. All right. So number one, understand your market area. I would take a dive deeper into your local market. Okay. Analyze the competition. So maybe you are interested in the niche of distress sales. So search short sale distress experts in your area. Find out who's doing what. Okay. Because that's really good. If there's not many people, then hey, dive right in, right? Maybe you want to specialize in probate, or maybe it's for sale by owner or expired or first time home buyers, whatever it may be. I'm a big believer in really understanding your market and the data that comes with it. Okay. So that would be number one for identifying your ideal niche. Your personal strengths. Okay. So I see a lot of people, they talk about, oh my gosh, I don't like to be around people and all this stuff. So then maybe you pick like a transaction coordinator position. You know what I mean? Let me tell you what, when I first started this back in 2007, I was scared to death to call the banks to ask for an update on these short sales. I would be shaking like this on the phone, waiting for someone to pick up. I don't know what it was, but I'm thankful for my husband because he was very much good with people and all that. And I learned all of those skills from him. Now I love talking to people. Do I want to be, am I peopled out a lot? Yes. Okay. But your strengths are going to change over time. Your weaknesses, all of that's going to change. Okay. So it's really good to really analyze that. And that's something that my team and we try to do at the end of each year. So what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? So be vulnerable, write them down. My weakness is once I close on a deal, I'm not that great at follow-up. And I think it's because, I deal with so many emotions inside of these deals that it's a lot. We do have a CRM that, keeps in touch with them, but I wish I was better at that, and that's something I'd put on my, to-do list literally every single year. My strengths are, the empathy and the compassion that I have to really help these families. What are yours? And then you want to match your skills with the market needs. So if you went back to this and you dived in and there's not really someone in your area that is focusing solely on, say, let's just go with for sale by owner, then, what are your strengths for that particular niche? What are your weaknesses? You want to recognize that. And then you want to match all of that when you're, hey, I want to be a for sale by owner agent. I don't know anything about for sale by owner, so I'm just giving examples. So it's not always distressed. Okay. And then you want to evaluate your existing network. So I see a lot where, moms have posted in the group and they say, I just moved, or I forgot what it's called, when they move from the military. Anyways, I see it all of the time. Okay. So they're in this brand new market and they don't know anyone. Okay. I moved from a small town in Michigan to Chicago when I was 23 years old. I'm 41 now. 18 years ago, I knew no one. It was so scary. And I started this niche of distress sales. So there are niches out there that you can start with no existing network. Okay. Networking events, all of that are important. And that's something we did implement into our business, but you don't have to have an existing network for some niches. Okay. So I just want to make that clear because I see it all the time. And, it takes time. Every good thing takes time. All right. And then pick your niche and stick with it. Okay. So let me tell you a quick story. When my husband and I, we told our families we were leaving our mortgage job positions and starting a real estate business around short sales. They told us we were crazy and that we shouldn't do it. Everyone around us told us that we were crazy. I wish now that I wouldn't have told them, because now, guess what? My mom works for me full time. And it's like, told you so. But I say that because there's going to be a lot of noise around you. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do this. Or, there's all these classes inside your brokerage about this, this, and this. What is on your heart? What is going to work for you? And what is going to work for your family? Okay. That is what is important. Pick it based on all of that. Time requirements, family commitments. Is there room for growth inside of your market? Okay. And then most importantly, the work-life balance. You got to have that. I remember once, this was a few summers ago, kids grow so quickly, right? So I was like, I'm going to take Fridays and I'm going to be just mommy on Fridays. And I was very clear with my clients up front. And one client said, I have never heard of someone doing that before. And I was like, bye. And so I didn't work with them because they wanted me to commit to Fridays. And I'm like, no, I can't. So just keep all of that, in mind. All right. Then we got number 3, implementing all this. So all of this stuff is going to take you time. It is October 30th. So we got 2 months until the end of the year. So you can certainly figure all this out. So, go out, map your schedule, figure out your weekly, what you're doing, what is good for your business, what is time wasting, okay, all of that. And then explore different niches, okay? Just dive in a little bit deeper. What is people doing in my area? If you're interested in short sales, I do have something at the end that I'll talk about. And that's okay if you're not. But you got to figure out what is going to be best for you and your family. So, so important. You have that time. If you do it now, then you can fully implement this at the beginning of 2025. I tell you what, it's really, really difficult this time of year to implement anything because the holidays are coming. You got this for the school. You got Thanksgiving. You got Christmas programs, whatever it is. It's chaos, right? Am I right? Yes, it is. I'm looking at my schedule today and my husband's like, can we have a Christmas party for our friends? And I was like, oh Lord, please give me the strength to not go crazy on him. All right. Number 3, implementing your plan. And so this is really exciting. I think if you take all of that, and I'm always here for questions. I'm going to give you my email. It took me a lot of years to figure this out. It shouldn't take you that long if you just do it. Take the time to just set aside some time and just do it. And of course, ask questions. Okay. So system setup. So create those daily and weekly routines. So again, for me, I have my non-negotiables. It's my workouts in the morning. I do specific things every single week. So while I don't work on a Sunday, I do get up on Sundays with my hot coffee and I analyze my week. And so I print off my MLS sheet of all my deals. I just go through it. I do have a great transaction coordinator that handles the majority of everything, but I still want to know what is going on with all of my deals. So you want to create those daily habits. You want to create those weekly habits, monthly habits, yearly habits. If you do that, it's just going to come more natural to you. Let me see, what are some other daily ones that I do? I mean, I do have like specific times that I eat, because if I don't, then I don't eat and then I'm hangry, right? And so that doesn't work well with family or clients. So just make sure you're creating those daily and weekly habits, which eventually are going to turn into a routine. Set up automation. So anyone here learn the art of automation and delegation? It is great. Kristen, yeah. So I remember years and years ago, my husband was like, you can't take on these short sales anymore. You're so overwhelmed. You need to delegate that part out. And I was like, yeah, well, guess what? It's all timing, right? And so I hired someone. That is my mom. So she's been working with me full time since 2016. I also have a couple of virtual team members. Okay. And so Bonnie, my mom, I delegate as much out to her as I possibly can. So she'll do everything that she can without having a license. That is why I can do these trainings. That is why I can have my coaching community for distress sales. So learn to automate and delegate. But my biggest advice for that is don't do it right away. I have learned everything inside of my business. I've learned how to make phone calls. I've learned how to do the follow-ups. I've learned how to pull the data, how to send it weekly, all of that. Because I did it first, I was able to properly train her, and that just helps with your business, okay? But there are eventually things you're going to have to automate and delegate. Again, this is a big one. Develop a backup plan for those emergencies. They're going to come up. Kids are going to get sick. I've gone through a lot since July. We had my mother-in-law passed. Our best friend passed. We had a situation with my sister in mental health. Like, it has just been one thing after another. And I had to work a few weekends just to get caught up because there was so much chaos in that. It's just a season that we've had. Okay. So just know that emergencies come up, but the most important thing is once you get through all that, to go back to the exact same process, systems, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly routines, habits. Okay. Okay. So you do want to build that professional network. When we first started, we were going out and we were networking, and I don't network necessarily with other realtors. It was like, who can I network to help grow my niche? Okay. So if your niche is like buyers, then probably loan officers. You want to go to what conferences that you can go to try to meet these people. For me, I wanted to meet attorneys. And so I partner with a lot of attorneys in my area: bankruptcy, foreclosure defense, probate, divorce. I don't really network with real estate attorneys because real estate attorneys tend to already have a real estate agent on their team. I want the other attorneys. Okay. So maybe pick a networking event once a month. If you can, swing it for once a week, great. We were doing a lot of that at the beginning, and I don't do it as much anymore because I do already have my team in place. Set up a home office or dedicated workspace. I wish I could show you. So this is my home office. You just see a little part right here, but it's a space for me to come. I work here. My work stays here. I remember a long time ago, even though I had a office space, I would still bring my computer out on the counter, and I was checking emails in between, like making meals. That is the definition of insanity. Don't do it. Don't get into that habit. Have that dedicated workspace. And then, especially if you're working from home, I can close my doors and I can just leave it behind. All right. And then progress tracking. So, you do want to set goals. I'm very big on goal setting, but I adjust them every month. And so a part of my monthly routine is, yes, to analyze my deals, the average sales, where did it come from? But I do go back and I look at my goals, and I also have a goal board over here. And so I've crossed off a lot. Some of it will turn into next year's goals, and that's okay. But if you don't go and adjust those goals, then it's going to get frustrating because you may not meet all of them, right? So that kind of leads me into number 2. So schedule your regular plan reviews, which is monthly. I'm currently, and this is what I'm going to talk to you guys about, I'm currently teaching a game plan series training. And it is my most favorite thing to teach. It's all about getting organized inside of your business. What do I do monthly to basically analyze for the year and plan for the new year? So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, I kind of lumped all of these into one, but adjust the goals and strategies as needed. So that is something that I do look at on a monthly basis to adjust. Okay. Let's pause for a second and see if there's any questions on any of this. I talk fast because as I was preparing this, I was like, am I going to be able to get through all of this? So I want to answer any maybe quick questions on that, and then I'll finish with a couple of things that I created for you guys. Anyone can unmute themselves if they want. Oh, you check your Facebook memories. I love that, Michelle. Woo woo.
Yeah, there was a lot of comments, but not a lot of questions in there.
Okay. From Michigan. Cool. All right, so I've created two things for you mamas. And so it's not, I'm not asking you to come into my coaching community. What I would love for you to do is to see if distress sales or short sales is a good niche for you. So a long time ago, I created this boot camp. It's called the #1 Short Sale Boot Camp. And I'm going to just show you it in a minute. And so I have this. It is the best thing out there, okay? I've had people tell me that they've taken these CLE credits, yada yada. There is nothing like it. So even if you don't think short sales is going to be your niche, this will be a great masterclass to go in and take, because you'll be able to intelligently speak to buyers and sellers when the conversation comes up. Okay. So what does it look like? This is what it looks like. Pretty simple. I like things that are simple. Okay. It is a Facebook community. And so you get added in. I'm very organized. So you start here and you go through everything. And then we have the modules. Okay. So it's all in the guide section. There are 10 of them. We have a welcome and an introduction. We have short sale tips. I give you my homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. It's 3 pages, my facts cover sheet, my indemnity agreement. The indemnity agreement is going to protect you. We cannot make any guarantees with short sales. I give you my authorization. We talk about questions you should ask the buyer's agent prior to your seller accepting an offer. Oh my gosh, just loads of information. But there's a download here. And then there's the training video here. So it will take you through step by step. So your state, determining a game plan for your sellers. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, yep. Okay. Pre-listing. Then actual listing of the property. So look, not everyone's going to be a short right now, right? It could be an equity sale. I'm closing one that I took on 2 weeks ago. It's closing not next week, but the following week. Called off of one of my postcards. She has 100,000 in equity, and she has an auction date December 19th. So just a lot of moving parts. What happens after you get that offer? Negotiations and getting the actual approval letter, and then closing the short sale. And then, congratulations and other stuff you can do on your journey. So this would be for anyone that would be interested in exploring the niche of distress sales. So that could go with your #2 up here. Okay. How to identify your ideal niche? Search for that in your area, but take this boot camp because it is going to give you an overview. If you are organized, and you have that empathy and stuff, this is probably going to be a great niche for you. So that is specifically, so I'm doing a deal. So it's normally $197, but for moms in real estate, we created a whole new form, and it will be $97 for you guys. And then you're in the boot camp for lifetime. So if you decide after this, you're like, nope, I don't think distress sales is what I want to do. That's fine. You can stay in this boot camp, and then when questions come up, you'll be able to come back and reference it, which is really great. You can ask questions. My team monitors the group, so we'll be able to get your questions answered really quickly. If you do feel like, okay, this is what I want to do, then in module 10, it will take you into next steps. And we're always creating new content and stuff. So there's that one. And then I have this game planning. So this would be for literally all the moms. It's like what I just went over was just a snippet of like what I've done inside of my real estate business. My game plan series is on fire. Okay. So what do I do? It's six classes, and I will take you through on how to organize your business on a monthly basis, whether it doesn't matter what it is. Okay. So I'm going to show you exactly what that is. I got this weird thing at the top of my, AI. Okay. So we actually already did the first class. And so I'm going to have a specific first class just for the moms in real estate, which will take place this upcoming Tuesday. And so the first class is your year in review. Okay. So we are going to do some reflections, and that is going to be a personal reflection, and that is going to be a business reflection. Now we go over that, but you may not be able to complete it right away, depending on, if you have any other deals closing. Okay. Then it will take place on Thursdays all the way till December 12th. This class right here is taking place in my coaching community. So not only do you get the game planning series training, you'll be able to hear the questions and the responses or the questions that get asked and how we respond, because there's a lot of collaboration in these classes. So I actually created a game plan, a whole entire packet of goals and stuff. And so you print it, or you can just type it in there. It's probably I don't know how many pages it is, but it will walk you through on how to prepare your game plan for 2025. And then this one is specifically going to go over your monthly analysis report. Well, what is that? I created a sheet every single month on the 1st. I go through and I fill it out. Why is that important? Because at the end of the year, you can go in and you can analyze your number 1 lead source, your number 2, your number 3, and so on. A lot easier. Then we have a monthly expense report. I know this stuff may sound boring, but I tell you what, when it comes to tax season, you have all of this, it's going to be a lot easier than trying to figure it all out 2 weeks before taxes are due, right? So we have the monthly expense report, and then we have a Google spreadsheet to combine all businesses if you have more than one. If not, it works with just your real estate as well. And then we essentially finalize everything. So this is a 6 course series, and it really would be helpful for anyone in real estate. Normally that's what it was. And so for moms in real estate, it's $97. And that starts Tuesday. And that's all I have. So yay, I got to 2:45. You said 45 minutes and 15 minutes for Q&A.
Yeah, that was great. And what a great value for $97 for both of those. There are a couple questions. I don't know if you want me to read them or if you want to read them.
Sure, I can get to them. Okay. Okay, so the boot camp is self-paced. So you would get access to this. And so, once you fill out the job form and you complete it, it will redirect you to this group, and then you'll gain access. So my virtual team will accept you once they get, all the form. So it is self-paced, but my team is in there every single day to be able to answer questions and stuff. So I think that's what you meant, Christy, for the boot camp. The series training is live, but we do record everything. So this would be, once you fill that form out, you would get redirected to the Google folder. And so this is what is currently in the Google folder. Okay. It has the time, it has the name of the class, and it has the Zoom link. Then every single time there's a course, you'll go back to the Google Drive. We'll also email it out, and you'll get the actual recording, plus you'll get these documents. So there's like I said, the game plan document, you'll get the MAR, the monthly analysis report, you'll get this, and you'll be able to tweak it for your business. Are you seeing more distressed sales in your area? I did a lot of showing. So I am, because I deal with it every day. So I give this example all the time. So I'm gonna pick on Kristen. So let's say Kristen's dream car is a black Cadillac Escalade. Okay. So Kristen goes and buys her dream car and she's in it every single day, right? And then she's driving it around her town. She starts seeing other same cars. Okay. That's exactly what it is right now. So I am in it every single day. And so I'm seeing the short sales. I'm seeing the equity sales. There's so many families in a distressed situation, but it's not always a short sale. So yes, I'm seeing it all over the country. Obviously, some places are a lot higher than others, but if you're doing it if you're dedicating time every single day, then you will see it. This niche is a long-term plan, not, hey, let's come in and make money tomorrow. You could get a lead tomorrow, you could, or it may take 2 months. You're welcome. Yeah, so the boot camp is basically, it is self-paced. So you would come in, it is going to take you through a short sale essentially from start to finish. So like it says, getting started all the way to closing the deal. Okay. So each guide, which is a module, you will download. So you copy this. Oh my gosh. So each one has a download and each one has a video. And you'll be able to watch it, take notes. If I knew how to cut and paste. So like, here's the first one, okay? And then we have the video. So there's always a download and there's always a video. And then there's a ton of additional information as well as the tips that I have, okay? How to get your questions answered. Let me just show you what one of the downloads is. But it's, yes, it is self-paced. So there are 10 modules. There are 8 workbooks. Then there's 1 PowerPoint, 10 videos, and just really loads of information, plus a bunch of free stuff. So the free stuff would be my fax cover sheet, my indemnity agreement, the homeowner financial hardship questionnaire, questions to ask a buyer's agent prior to accepting an offer, understanding how your state processes a foreclosure, an authorization, lots of additional stuff inside of the modules. So I would, Lindsay, congratulations. Being a new agent is exciting and scary all at the same time. So I don't know your particular niche, I mean, your area, but you could just Google, you know, agents in my area and start to just do some research. If you have I would imagine there's a lot of agents that are not distress experts in your area. So obviously I always encourage agents to look into that. It's the listing side. You don't really have to deal with buyers, which is great. But you just want to look in your area. So just look at all the agents in your area and figure out exactly what they're doing. And you could just Google that. Google's your friend. Yeah, so $97 for each. So you could pick both of them or you could pick one. Doesn't matter. Gosh, I would highly encourage both. There's so much information and obviously it's like lifetime. And then with the game plan, you'll be able to see what goes on inside of my community. It's almost like a sneak peek. So it's like 2 for 1, essentially. Jessica says, I'm late. Babies, got it, understand. We do have a replay that will be coming out. Yes, a lot of people do mask their distress status and they don't want to work with, say, an agent that they know or whatever. And so I send out, so my number 2 lead source is postcards in my text campaign, and my number 1 lead source is attorneys. Did I get everyone's questions?
Here comes the new one.
Okay. That is a great question. So do your kids take a nap? And if so, that is where your high energy hours should be. I know you may be tired, but you absolutely can make this work with little kids. I started this before I had kids. I had both my kids, and my husband came to me in 2014 and said, hey, honey, I want to start another business. This was 2 weeks after I had my youngest. So not only did I have the two kids, I was supporting his dream and working. I was the breadwinner, paying everything. It was really crazy. I worked mostly I would get up early. So if they slept till like 8, so your kid should also be on a routine. So I would do like, say, 5 to 8. I would do as much as I could, and then they would get up. I did have a nanny. I did not have daycare. We had no family here to help. So if you can get someone to come to the house, even if it's, say, a couple of hours, so they come like 2 hours before nap time or 2 hours after nap time, you do want to dedicate that time as much as you can during nap time. If you have a spouse or someone that could come help you for a couple of hours, that's where you just got to dedicate all your time. So that's where like you're reviewing all of it. Okay. So if your kids sleep 12 to 3, that is when you need to make your calls and do all that stuff. And then if you can only take appointments, say, in the evenings, then let your clients know that when you have the help with the kids. Okay. I quit. So yeah, I did have a nanny, as she eventually did turn into full time. Just because I at one point had 70 short sales going on. And so I did need some help. When your kids get into school full time, it's a positive, but every stage comes with more challenges, right? Yeah, or find some homeschool teens in your area. That's a great idea, Christy. Yes. So Lindsay, yes, it will talk about all that. I do have a couple of free marketing pieces I can put into the group. It does not give like my postcard or anything, but the boot camp is short sales from start to finish. So you got to understand getting started. You got to understand, what to say to them. That's why I give you my homeowner questionnaire. I don't love scripts when it comes to short sales. So I use that as my script. Okay. So it's important to understand all of that from start to finish before you dive in deeper, because remember, these homeowners, they're struggling. It is a very, very different transaction, and you have to understand the process so you can properly help them. Yeah, I do. So my team, and I can put it in here. I think I did. So it's additional resource. I have a 5-day free trial for the system that we use. And then you can also meet with them to ask them more. But I do put that in there as an additional resource. Kristen, how do we get the links out to everyone for the classes?
So you guys, as long as you're in the group, which I think most of you are, you should get a weekly email from us every week, and we'll do a full recap about Heather's class in there. We'll put her the price from 197 to 97, and then any links that she provides will go out to you guys. We can also do a post in the group this week, so if you guys are more active on there, if you have no clue what I'm talking about, send me an email or a message right now with your email, and I'll make sure you're on the list.
Okay, I'm going to give my email just in case anyone else has additional questions. So the short sale boot camp is just always open. I didn't put a time frame or anything. Like the $97 is just a deal for, moms in real estate. The game plan series is currently happening right now. So that's something, if you're deciding between the two, maybe you do that one, just because that's going to really help you get organized inside of your business, and would be very helpful to start the new year that way. Any other questions? I always say no question is silly or stupid, so you have me on here, ask away.
Yeah, this has been great. Does anybody have any last questions for her? You guys all take down her email. I definitely think that's the best way. Heather, what's the best Instagram handle for people to connect with you there? I don't know if it's the Blueprint Short Sales or if it's a different one.
Okay, so I'm really bad at Instagram, but I'm going to tell you because I really want to get better at Instagram, but you're going to go onto it and laugh. So just don't laugh at me. It's Heather J Keller. So I don't even know how to even put that in there. Is it there? I think that's what you say.
There you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
My beginning year and how I scaled. So my years are pretty much have been the same for several years. This is kind of like a part of the game plan. And so inside of this, I'm old school. So I do have some stuff still printed, but then I do have Google stuff as well. But inside of these tabs, this was my 10th year of analyzing my months. Okay. So I've been doing this exact system for 10 years. Oh, this is the game plan that you would get inside of the game planning. So it's basically, you know, your mission and your vision for next year and overview, but just a bunch of stuff. But anyway, so each tab has my monthly analysis report. So like I will do this on Friday because it's the 1st, right? So I can go into October and I can go in and view what did I do in October of 2023, 22, 21. And it all goes all the way back to October of 2016. Like no joke. I closed 2 deals. I made $17,000 and this is where my deals came from. So I like to be super organized. So my year hasn't really changed. I always, my number 1 lead source is always attorneys. And my number 2 is always my direct mail marketing. So that has always been the same. So I definitely put that into my game plan and I break it down as far as costs and everything goes. So I know what's coming in and what's going out. And then the number 3 just varies. And so I'm excited to see what it is this year. I have an idea. You know, sometimes it's past client referrals, sometimes it's social media. But yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so. That's been very helpful. And thank you so much for offering that discount to our community. I think that's huge. That's definitely like the value is so there.
Yeah, thank you. It does have a lot of stuff and I could spend all day just talking about each one. So that's why I gave my email. Feel free to reach out. Sometimes my email goes to spam. So in the email, if you want to put in your cell and I'll just text you, hey, I sent you an email just to make sure. You're very much welcome. All righty.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Heather. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you, everyone. Bye.